Welcome back. We unfortunately are still discussing this movie, and now you will have to hear us. But if you enjoy it, I hope it's a good time for you.
We're gonna drain your data some more. Oh boy, here comes the draining, and here we go.
Back into it
now.
So he sees like a drone nearby the Tesla on his like map of things, and I laughed so fucking hard when you can right-click a drone and there's a commandeer drone option there. There's like hacking, and there's like what non-computer people think is hacking, and like that, and it's like, oh no, it needs a password for me to to do this to commandeer drone, and it's like, I don't know if that's what. All right, whatever.
Yeah, and then he has this magical password generating tool that he keeps going back to.
He messages tech support for a level 5 password, whatever that is. It's obviously it's sensitive. Tech support is immediately like, sure, here's an incredibly sensitive password that I just sent you in clear text via Microsoft Teams. Like, I didn't encrypt this. I didn't. We don't see him go like to a different thing. Like have to like have a different. Like, no. Here's my level 5 password via Microsoft Teams. Just and it's somebody who has done tech stuff. It's like no. He wouldn't get, and like there were no follow-up questions from this guy either. There was just nothing. It was like, okay. Incredibly bad at their job, this DHS tech support, but like,
it just, again, this writer strikes again. It's unforgivable to not know anything about what you're writing about, and it's clear this writer knows nothing about technology, has the absolute most superficial understanding, a non-understanding of things.
Right. I can watch news in my browser. I can call people with Zoom and whatever.
And this is kind of a way of getting to like a broader point about like who's this film intended for?
Mm-hmm.
Like who is the audience of this film? And I'm gonna talk about this later. I really think that it's someone who kind of. There's a certain demographic of, you call them the streamers, right? They cut that cable cord, and all their media, like their media is not by way of cable TV, hasn't been for years and years and years. It's streamed one way or another, and this is a film for them. This is a film that speaks to that way of engaging modern media and information consumption, right? You stream what you watch, but otherwise you get your news directly from web pages, or this is it's a certain generation that does this. This is a way that's familiar to me. Like I'm gonna kind of like date myself here. I really feel like this is a film that's like targeted towards like mid-40s streamer generation, right? It just in its sensibilities, in the way that it presents media, and in like the way that it presents technology.
Yeah, I get that, and you called it out as Gen X because I could see again he's like supposed to be our hero here. The kids are presented as being like sort of dumb or like whatever, or just like having their own issues with technology, or being just like,
hapless.
Yeah.
Or at least at first. We discover later that they're not,
because he's like technology guy and has job, and like other kid has like, get a job. So it is very like, I don't know. It is weird and like who it's for to talk about, but we have a lot of this left. It's garbage. All right, let's go.
We have so many piles of garbage to plow through here. Yeah.
So Will Cube calls up Mark, the boyfriend, or I get baby daddy, husband, presumably, but like after stalking his van some more, but then he doesn't like call him because he has his phone number. He like yells at him through his van.
Yeah. He hacks his intercom system,
which
in the van.
Frightens Mark because why wouldn't it? But he yells at Mark to go get Faith when he is actively driving the van to get Faith, and so it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Will Cube? Like, I don't.
Yeah, just some overbearing big dad energy, for sure.
And he's just a walking Patriot Act at this point on that. And it's just like, the next thing he does is pull up a Gmail draft where he starts to write his daughter an email with the subject line, being a parent is hard. Which is like, when you're talking to like, you're looking for something good, like if you're like steelmanning this movie or like what should be good, like he has this little emotional through line and it like it tries to pay off at the end and stuff, but it just it's so funny. It's so funny to have that happen because he's been such a shitty dad throughout the whole movie, and then like it's just like a passive aggressive thing to be like, I know I've been a shitty dad to you, but like have you considered it's hard for me, like
It is a very passive aggressive note, actually. Yeah, you are right about that. And oh my God, in that way, oh God, it's just another ick factor.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's a very self-absolving
for sure.
note.
It's like control. Like I feel you pulling away from me with like your boyfriend, and now I'm gonna write this because it's been so hard and like. Yeah, I don't know. It's just again, supposed to be touching, and to me, it's just like funny and like weird. But okay,
are we just too cynical? Like all these moments when it's like, is he a good dad, and we're just not giving him enough credit? I don't know. No, I think we're trying real hard to find all the credit we can give. I really do think this. If we're wrong, write us some hate mail, please.
He's a jerk to his son, and he's like stalks and controls his daughter. So I don't really think we're selling this guy short too much, or like giving him credit. So
let's see.
He's interrupted from writing this email draft because Sandra NASA Longoria has video montages to give to our boy to react to. Again, this is what he's here for. He is here to react.
Those hot takes.
There's some impossible shots of these satellites because they were like, all the satellites were wiped out, and we have video of it. And it's like, how?
What's that camera doing there? that captured all this.
A few of those shots, you're like, okay, I could see like they saw like from the side, but there was one that was like fully away from Earth and like saw like all these things coming in and happening. And it's not like it was just for us, the viewer. This was like in her video montage she sent to him. So it's like, who the fuck did that? Like, okay. So
yeah, there is no consistency to the perspective in this film at all. Like there's God mode when there just has to be just casually. There's no economy of means at all. There's no clear way that information is produced. Mm-hmm. It's just there's just a camera showing all the satellites that were destroyed because it's there and was destroyed and it was in perfect place to capture it all.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh my God.
His boss messages him. He's been on mute in this meeting for like 10 minutes now, but he's like, his boss messages him saying they're waiting on him for this incredibly important presidential and Joint Chiefs Zoom call. And he's like, oh yeah, and like pulls the meeting back up and unmutes it like right as they're asking him something. And so he presents his report to the group and he's like, aliens are attacking our critical infrastructure and the nuclear plants are like their next target. And they're grouping up. They're walking to like the same place. And they're like, they're going to be so much more powerful when they group up. And nobody's like, why? Or like, are they? Like, it seems like that'd probably be easier for us to nuke them or to do whatever if they're like grouping up. But everybody's like, yes, and like nods sagely or whatever. Like, of course.
This is known.
And then they ask the president for approval for their plan to attack the grouped aliens. And like, he says he sees no other option in this War of the World. As they drop that a couple of times.
He said the name of the film. Yeah. He said it.
So Wilkie just like watches as the humans take the fight to the aliens and just like drops one-liners like, take your intergalactic asses back home. And like he's just in his fucking little room like punch like getting you just watching other people do it. The
sass in the screen.
Okay, I don't know what he's done all movie. Like, he did a spreadsheet. He presented a report on that spreadsheet pretty well, I guess. But like flood. He gets a call from Sandra NASA, but declines it as he sees his daughter's Tesla has arrived at its location, and fuck Sandra NASA, apparently. If there's literally anything else that I'm doing at this exact moment, Sandra NASA gets ignored. Even though she's like so nice and like giving me all this information and is like involving me for no reason that I see.
Yeah, really. She's not helping the situation at all by distracting herself with Will Q.
No, yeah. Let me message this asshole that doesn't do anything. So Faith has left the Tesla and has like entered in abandoned hospital ? Like, it's like and again, this is COVID filming, but it just looks like she like went through an abandoned street. So we see this like bloody trail, and then like into an abandoned building.
Yeah, why would the hospital be abandoned? Like, that's where everyone would be.
It was full. Like, and there would be people outside, presumably.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll take that as just like this was a COVID filming, whatever.
Sure.
But like, it did look like the opening scenes of like 28 Days Later, where like he's leaving the hospital or something, or like The Walking Dead, and so like, okay,
exactly,
sure. But Mark is still on her way to her, but is now on foot for some reason. Like, we didn't see anything happen to the van, but he's just like running, I guess. Which comes into play later because I have a question as to how he had certain things on hand, but whatever. But Sandra calls Will and shows Will that the aliens are changing direction, and that the same alien noise from earlier occurs. And again, he's deeply incurious. He does not actually care about this, mind you. He immediately gets another call, and it's just like, bye. He could not give a shit about all these things she keeps presenting to him. It's like, do you want to be involved in this? Would you like to help save the world? Like,
yeah, these are clearly these. They're not even characters. They're just devices for the audience, which is, again, just terrible writing, because the way that he responds to him is just exactly like you described, right? They're just leaving all these breadcrumbs for him to follow, but he's like, nah, bye.
Yeah.
and it's just for the audience. They're seeding the audience with information that they're not showing because they're not doing a narrative film, so there's all this crucial information that has to be conveyed that would be if this were just a narrative film, but they have to tell. They can't show because of the profound limitations of this. So it's a neat trick with this perspective, but this does demonstrate the obvious limitations of it in such a brutal way.
Well, especially if the main character just doesn't engage with the things being given to him. It's just like you would think that would be a given in this formula, but no, I guess you could just not give it.
And in fact, takes like one of the best actors ever to like really act under these constraints and do it well. But no, they got Ice Cube. So, oops.
He answered the phone, so,
yeah, he was available, so, okay.
The call is from his son, whom he disdains openly, as always. He answers it, but immediately shuts the son down again, where the son is like, just hear me out. That's all he wants. And Dad's like, no. And so Dave goes on to mention Goliath and how extensive of a spy network it is, but he like bitches about it. He's like, don't talk to me about the government. And Sandra NASA, he just shuts that down and just like moves on to the next call. He's just jumping around like vines, these conversations. But Sandra NASA is nearby an alien taken down by a missile, and it's still alive seemingly, and she follows it inside. She doesn't give a fuck. She's going wherever, and she's gonna go touch it, lick it again. Yeah, like but she follows inside and finds that like tentacles are covering the servers, and Will like kind of pulls something up and goes, the servers are in hyper download, which is not a thing, but it's essentially trying to
hyper download.
Essentially trying to communicate that they are losing data and like the thing.
It only gets worse from here, folks. Hyper download will seem quaint by the time we're done. Oh my God.
Sandra NASA starts saying that these are amazing. She's just like, wow, look at these like servery tentacles. But then she's like assailed by alien bugs and being like, they're in my clothes. And then Will just like leaves the screen, like just stops interacting with it. And then look, that's probably fine. And then Will's screen flashes military systems full data loss, which is funny, as somebody would have had to have programmed this expecting this somehow. Like, it wouldn't have just been like error, or like you go to a website, it's down. It was like, we programmed an error message for if we happen to lose all of our military data.
Hey, Bob, why are you programming these very specific error messages? You never know.
Don't you need to know right then in an audience-friendly format?
Don't you want to know if all military data is lost? Wouldn't you rather know this than not know this?
It will help the audience if we do. And they're like, the fucking audience?
Yeah, so Okay, just the depths of this writing. Just when you think they've found rock bottom, they punch through and find a new basement. All military data, because that's a clearly bound thing.
Yeah.
Clearly labeled and defined. All our military data.
I know, and they've made a point.
We lost it all.
They've made a point where like you have to walk to all these data centers to fucking like get it. And there's so many military bases around the world, but they're just like all of it. We've lost literally all
my
of it.
military data. Yeah. Oh no.
And they don't even like react to it that much. They don't talk about this at any other point with like the Joint Chiefs or the president or anything. Like it didn't seem important. And I guess like that we've lost. I think all military data.
I think this is we're getting to one of my favorite, most terrible lines in all films of all time ever. We're getting to a montage where we're seeing the effects of all of this data loss.
This is the next one. Yeah, he goes on a fun montage of news again. Just react fast for him. So
So we get clips of society in distress, of the military not being able to fight, of things breaking down, of chaos and all that. In this line, it stopped me dead in my tracks. The narrator of this montage, financial data has been completely drained and erased, making the Earth's population totally bankrupt. I mean, totally bankrupt.
It's gone, yeah.
Like totally bankrupt. Because they've drained all our data, bro.
It's gone. We deleted it.
They drained our data, bro. And now we're totally bankrupt.
Yeah.
This is just some of the most. We gotta take a moment here. This is some of the worst writing ever. Totally bankrupt. This is how sophisticated this crisis is being described. All our financial data got drained, bro, and now we're like totally bankrupt. Oh, like wow. Like totally.
Right. They sent their finest surfer out to break the news.
That's the import of all this.
God, we're broke.
Jeez. Okay. Kyle, you proceed. I gotta find the name of this writer because we're gonna expose and shame these people.
Yell at him live on it.
So, screenplay, Kenneth A. Gold and Mark Hyman. Kenneth Gold, Mark Hyman. A story by Kenneth Gold. Why? Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Okay? Why? I just gotta know.
Just tell me.
I just gotta know.
Tell me.
Yeah. I need to know.
We see he also like during this like the world is losing its data like montage, for some reason Will Cube has like a whole like line of bar charts where he like sees it going down in real time in percentages, as if again somebody has programmed this. It's like if the whole world is losing its data, like would you like to see it happen? It's like, yeah, I guess I think you should program that in there or whatever. Like
and it's just another bit of idiocy in this. Data apparently is just this fungible commodity like oil that can be drained. And it just exists in tubs that are, again, all data is fungible and it's just drained. You know, you just drain in all the data because it's just collected in vats to be drained.
And even a USB stick can attract them apparently or whatever.
My God,
do they want notebooks? Like, I mean, where does this go? Yeah, like, how are we?
They drained our data, bro. Shit. And how many times I wish I had started counting how many times they like this gets said. Like, data is drained. Oh my God! Like I feel like this is like millennial speak or Gen Z speak or something. Like drained. That's what it felt like. It really felt like some contemporary slang, or actually a little bit of dated slang. It's probably dated, but like some just like awkward slang slipped through. And so this film.
Well, again, it's just a dumb concept or something that's like not really. It's like nobody's done this before, not because this is cutting edge. Nobody's done this before because this is dumb. And like, this is part of again why I think this might have even started as another movie. But then they like because of the way it ends, and we'll talk about it, they were probably like, oh, it's kind of like War of the Worlds or whatever, and they were like, has anybody done anything with that in like 20 years or whatever? Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Because. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's like just dumb shit happening. And we like do see some of the new expensive like technology laden jets have issues flying, for instance, because they're like, our military data, it's gone. We can't do anything. And like Sandra NASA calls again, but he ignores her again, as Mark called. And even Mark being barely family is still enough for Sandra NASA to be ignored. He doesn't care. Mark even ranks above Sandra NASA.
Hey, that's the baby daddy. You know, he's going to keep an eye on this guy. You know?
He is with Faith right now, and she is bleeding a whole lot. And like Will Cube just kind of yells at Mark to do something again. But then like when Mark is like, "I'll do it like this," and fixes it, he's like, "Don't do it like that." And then like it works, and he's like, fine. Like he's like annoyed that he fixed the problem, but he's just such a dick to Mark, and like that's just the classic like father thing. That again would be like kind of cute or endearing if like it wasn't also like just hovering like an inch above his daughter in helicopter parenting style or something.
Yeah, there's it's young man demonstrating his value to future wife and soon-to-be father-in-law. There's kind of something old-fashioned and quaint about it, even, and it would probably be received as such had Will Cube's character, just the way that it's developed at this point. I don't know. It's kind of hard to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe we should, but he's just such a creeper at this point. It's just, I don't know.
It's not great. Yeah. But finally, again, because nothing else is happening at the exact moment, Sandra NASA gets through to him. He's like, fine, I'll answer you now. But she shows him these tiny little bugs that are eating the data. She says it like came from the tentacles, like from the giant robots to the tentacles to the little whatever. And like that's the real plan is like, well, the other bits are diversions, like the tripod, they're for eating the data, like I guess. The jet lasers are just for show or something. They're insinuating like that's not really what they're here for. They're just like incidentally lasering jets down. But and so she's like thrilled and like so interested in this. But again, she's presenting to the most incurious man possible. Like it would be like such a fun discussion with somebody else, and they would be like bouncing back and forth. Like, does it do this? Oh my god, what did you observe it doing or something? But he's like, cool. And then he sees it and goes somewhere else with it because he's like, oh no, like if they're doing this, like he starts seeing he takes another time to watch the news. Again, this is just another one of those montages. They just throw these in where it's like news, things happening, bad stuff, and Ice Cube scrunch faces it. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah, there's this kind of it's the centering of this certain kind of incurious bastard, right? It's a kind of Archie Bunker type. You put a curmudgeon-y, well, what is usually a curmudgeon-y older white man. They throw you a twist by it being Ice Cube. I don't know if having the protagonist be a black character, but in all other ways being this kind of curmudgeon-y kind of privacy invading kind of chauvinist almost. I don't know. Like, does it take the edge off of that in a way that's unfair to kind of a gross toxic masculine type? I don't know. Maybe because I just imagine if this was like Chris Pratt. No. Then this character would feel a lot more threatening.
Right.
This character would feel a lot more obviously threatening, you know? And so, this is maybe an argument there.
It's a decent point, I suppose.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we should try to give Will Cube more his due as a father. Maybe. We'll try.
He's taking the time to watch the news, bad things like power grids collapsing, gridlock and mass city exits, planes falling from the sky. But this all concludes, he's distracted from his montage because, again, who the fuck programmed this? He gets a Facebook notification that literally says, your memories are being deleted.
Yeah.
How?
And again, just this film cannot. It just cannot stay consistent in how it presents certain things about technology. The way that it's showing these precious memories of the main character's wife being deleted. It's kind of like deleting it from a vinyl record, because this is just not how digital data responds. It does not respond in these analog ways. These are, I guess you could call them skeuomorphisms, really. They're harking back to something older as a way of indicating generally what the effect is that's happening.
It's also, again, just a way to film it, I suppose, because it's a more dramatic way to have it happen. On screen for sure.
But it's
slipping through his fingers, his memories of it.
But the nature of the distortion is incorrect. And again, it's just that's how incurious the film is. It's like we understand why it's done this way. But again, that's just not how this technology works. And it's just, there's something to be said about that, right? It just for as realist as it wants it to be by doing this kind of screen life perspective, it's not, because of these slips, like these inconsistencies, and just whatever.
And it's just funny shit happening in what order, because immediately, like, as Facebook just dies and is like unable to be loaded, all the things are gone. He flips right over to YouTube to watch a live stream of Disruptor. And it's like, I guess he didn't get there quite yet, but I don't even understand what he keyed in on. I guess I was checked out of the film at this point, but like he seems to key in on something Disruptor says, as Disruptor's telling him about like the Goliath made us an irresistible source of endless data, and he sends a video of some application named Guardian, and then is like able to decode the vocal distortion like really easily. This Guardian app is just amazing. It's a wizard book. It's a spell book, essentially, of wizards' tricks. And one of them is, again, just the easeful decoding of an encrypted voice sample, which, one could imagine sophisticated voice technology doing. Like this, I don't know. It is maybe more plausible than any number of other things in the film. Certainly, yeah. I mean,
there's
probably only so many ways to distort or vocoder type stuff.
It's just kind of picking your battles, as it were.
But I mean, in the middle of all this, he goes through this random like teenager's YouTube stream and is like playing with pitch, and then like figures out is its son David, and you're like, okay, like, I guess, but, like, why are you... Again, the world is falling apart.
Yeah.
You have the president muted to listen to this fucking teenager's live stream bitch about the government.
His concerns are awfully localized and personalized, and the scale of them is so small, and in a way that just makes the character seem small, and it doesn't make him seem like a good father. It makes him seem petty in like this like tragic way. Anyway,
it's not great. So he calls his son David up, and instead of I guess opening in any other way possible, he just goes, "It's you!" And David's like, I guess he was expecting this, because he's like, "Oh yeah, well, kinda." And so
like father, like son, like you have,
but I mean,
two hackers meeting each other from opposite sides,
David proposes working together at this point, because he's like, well, I mean, okay, now you know, but Will Cube says, I gotta go, rather than engage his son, even for a moment. Like, he just keeps like bungee jumping in and out of his son's life via phone call to be like, fuck you! And then... to drive that further home, like, David messages him and has a document of proof, but Will Cube says, nothing in this file can convince me that what you've done is right, which is insane, because again, he's like, no, here's like actual proof of something, and like it's bad, and then David says the difference between right and wrong is the truth, which gets Will Cube to click on it, because he's finally like, oh, fine. And so he then finds the government had proof that these aliens started coming to Earth once we started doing early data collection with very old computers, which again, where's the line, like between notebook and floppy disk or something? Like,
data is just this clearly defined, simple, universal and timeless concept, right? Like old computers from the 60s were pooling data, and it could be drained too. God damn, it's so simple in so many profound ways, and that I just can't get over how. Again, just how dumb this film is. Like, are they marketing this film to like mid-40s, like mid-40s to mid-50s curmudgeon-y men, or are they marketing it, or is it meant to be like for those just coming out of 8th grade? I don't know. There's
right,
there's a profound lack of worldliness. You know, just the idea of data being this thing that is just drained. It's just so many layers of not being aware of the way things are. You know, and it's just these writers are just so unaware of themselves. I don't know how else to explain this. You know, just how could a script this unworldly get produced? How did it? I don't know. I
like
really
some of
don't
these are sunk
understand
costs with Amazon at some point. And again, they did like
fucking hell.
They put this out in like shame almost years later. But I think they polished that turn. Again, we can talk about like they possibly even just like slapped the label on it, the like brand essentially. But he's going on. So in part of all that stuff where they're like, oh, the government didn't know about this and the aliens. There's voice recordings of higher ups discussing the risk of the aliens coming to get us versus like having the world's best surveillance system in Goliath. And the person discussing that is Briggs, Will Cube's boss, the DHS director. It's revealed that he's the one that pushed Goliath despite everyone else's objections. The recording is essentially him being like, I don't care what you say, we're getting it through, and yeah. Like, it's very just cartoonishly evil, essentially, and like, I don't know.
Evil bureaucrat run amok. Yeah.
Which, again, not far-fetched, not unbelievable, but just, like, the way the film does it is just, like, cartoonish and, like, silly, and so it's... Because as soon as he finds out, too, Briggs is like, yeah, you found out, now I am evil, like, there's no, like, gray about it, there's no...
Yeah, it's like the Scooby Gang has unmasked the villain. I like, okay. Yeah, it's very anticlimactic and just kind of corny.
Right, because I mean, like, right away, again, he turns evil because, like, he approaches his boss, Briggs, and is like, hey, what about this? And the guy's, well, you found out, sorry, but Goliath's 40 feet underground and you're fired, so bye. There's no way the aliens are getting it to it. And so he's, like, immediately locked out of his PC, and it's like, oh, no, how will the movie happen without his fucking PC? But... immediately, a window pops up on his PC showing the disruptor where... Disruptor Dave asks him if he wants to play a game, which just made me think of Saw and the fact that better movies exist, and I got sad.
Or war games.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
Like a thermonuclear war. Yeah.
God, that's a good movie too.
Yeah. So
I just got sad because I remembered good movies exist when I was watching through this. Like,
it made me sad.
because I mean, especially because what happens next, David just like re-enables his entire like all access. He's just like all _ access, and then boom, done. You're back. Like
yeah, this is where we get some 90s hacker cliches and hacker vibe, and I gotta admit it. I kind of have a soft spot for this, but not because it's not dumb. It's real dumb. It's too easy. It's too cool. It's
immediate
too
too. Like
immediate.
He didn't even have to marinate in that problem for a moment. Like
yeah, just fire that baby up.
And then it's revealed in that moment or whatever where Dave's like, I spy on you too, and they're like, oh, we're just like each other or something like.
Yeah, and see, this is where the film really makes light of how creepy the surveillance element of this is, right? Where there's a moment where the main protagonist could realize that he's been spied on and lied to this entire time, and maybe he should question the nature of this. But nah, his son's doing it too. We're all doing it. We're all spying on each other, so it's okay.
Fine.
No, it's not. Oh my god. Anyway, this film.
So he gets his access enabled, and Will calls Dave up and be like, "What should we do?" And Dave suggests something, I think, and then Will like ignores it and suggests his own thing, which is again very fucking funny. He just could not give a shit about this son and his ideas, but he's like, "Let's do my thing," where they suggest poisoning the data center, and then Will says he'll make some calls to a team to write like the various like code for their plan, but Dave's like, "But the people you know suck," and so he's like, "I'll get my hacker friends," and so he does. He'll make the calls, but he gets like a group of these anonymous as hackers to do it, and then they end up on a call with like Will, Mr. Government, and they're like, "Wait, we don't like that guy," and
what the what? Yeah.
But they end up doing it because he does like wipe the records. He's like, I'll just do this. If you write the virus, we'll just do that. They use some real low-level buzzwords on it. They're like SSL, like I said. They're like, this virus is going to like... And they just repeat like 5 really basic things. And you're like, cool.
Throw out some jargon real quick.
It's probably fine. But weirdly, and in the meantime, and something we didn't see at all, considering we're looking right at his screen, apparently WillCube has mocked up a video of the Goliath info, including like a call with Briggs playing in the background, while a Facebook message from Chuck Schumer is in the foreground saying to kill the Goliath program now, which fucking threw me for a loop. Like,
apparently, that's how Senator Chuck Schumer does official communication with higher-ups in the government.
We've intercepted a cable Facebook message.
God, this stupid film.
He also, there was no reason to do this because nobody would know who he is. He's not famous or anything. He mocked up his own fucking face over the Disruptor Anonymous like thing and put it there just to be like, just in case anybody needed to be like, whose felony is this? Like, it's me. It was for sure me.
It's me. You all know this face. No.
Nobody knows you, man in chair behind monitor.
Yeah. You've been barricaded in a room this entire film.
So that was absurd. Like, to have that happen. Like, Kind of defeated the purpose. Whatever. But the virus is done, and Will begins uploading to the data centers. However, the upload is frozen as the attack seems to escalate, with the tripods changing into flying pods.
So they get counter-hacked, which brings me to the other line that I love the most in this film. One of the hackers that's assisting David do this code. The aliens are hacking him and draining their data too. They're eating our data. My data is being drained, and I just this must have been like the 50th time that my data is drained was said, and I just
it's killing you.
And I just. The writers love this phrase. They love this phrase. They love this way of describing what was going on. My data is drained.
Well, it's because apparently they're like ingesting it. Because it's not like they're deleting it, but they're like nom 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 data. Like
I'm just
data. Like they're all over it.
I'm fascinated with this, and like really in trying to figure out who's the audience for this. The audience for this, amongst other aspects, they own various cryptocurrencies. They're way in over their head on cryptocurrencies. It just fits the profile.
I get it, yeah. Because it's like the level of understanding of technology. Often, like a lot of people can explain the underlying like blockchain or various parts of Bitcoin. But it is interesting that the further we go in technology, a lot of the kids and like things that grow up with it, they don't see like the underside, because like whenever we were there for like Windows, you had to like go through like DOS or through these bullshit ass prompts to go. Whereas now it's so like
we grew up with the utter inelegance of all of this technology, and we remember that it's still there lurking in the background.
Exactly. Whereas now, like, I mean, it's just the shiny UIs on top of so much. You just poke it essentially, and like all the error coding is like kind of hidden in the background, or like it'll like Yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
it's they're in more technology than ever, but they know less about it than ever in certain ways. Depending on
suffused with the user experience of it, but not with the underpinnings.
Right.
Just some way of describing it. But
so it is interesting in that regard. Because I mean, again, how old could the writer be? They could be younger and just like not understand either. Just like some older people don't understand. It's an odd like sort of I don't know period in time where you saw like the beginnings of it and what is underpinning it and is back there, but. Yeah. So let's see where we are. Yeah, the upload's frozen. Will Cube yells at the hackers to leave their place, but they're murdered 0.5 seconds every time after he yells, and he's like, "You gotta get out of there!" And they're like, "Leave!"
We see the what's kind of like the head part of these alien robots detach and start rocketing off in a direction, and we see on the screen the audience can conclude that coordinates have been found and they're racing towards them like rockets basically, or like armed drones. So again, a bit more surveillance porn here. Just he easel, and this is honestly distressingly real and current, and just the easel integration of location coordination. And then a quick pipeline to death-dealing device of some kind. Yeah,
for sure. Well, he sees the same thing with David Holmes. He's doing the surveillance, and he can't immediately reach him on the phone after that. And the webcam was blown up, and so we get an aerial view of the house because I think he again right-clicks a drone and is like, commandeer drone. This one didn't even need a passcode. I noted. So. Yeah. Just a right click.
Fuck it. Just click. Yeah.
He confirms his house is all burning and destroyed. Seems bad. But however, he gets a call from Dave right after that he tries to answer. It fails. And then he gets another call from Dave, and it turns out Dave is totally fine. And so I don't even know why that first call failed. I don't know what that... whatever.
Just to prime the drama a bit.
Tension, but he had his signal routed elsewhere, and he's over at Brian's house, wherever the fuck Brian is. Just like we saw him bounce a signal earlier when they thought they had his location. But Will Cube, he was so worried. He's like, my son is dead, and he was distraught. But within a moment, flips from I'm so happy you're alive to my house is blown up. Why couldn't you have routed this to Brian's house so his fucking house would blow up?
A little bit of comic relief. Wah, wah, wah.
So Sandra NASA calls, so we had to drop that call, and they're looking at zoomed-in shots of the data eating bugs. They find it's a hybrid organism, part organic and part cyber. For some reason, cyber, I like to put that, that's such a fucking generic whatever.
It's a real throwback.
Yeah. But for some reason, a group call occurs. It is now Sandra NASA and Will's whole family. I don't even know. I was watching this and I was like, how did this even happen? But it's it's David, it is Mark and Faith and Will, and then Sandra. And okay, so some of the group proposes they're discussing. They're like, how do we save the world? And it's these 5 people.
Yeah.
And
no, it's a good point. How does Sandra NASA know anyone else? Do they have they had picnics together? Do they have? Is she a dear family friend? I can't imagine why else she keeps cluing him in on what's going on, because he's not a helpful presence at all. No. So they must be friends, because there's no professional reason, I guess.
And they never tie together. Nobody ever speaks to her that way in the family. That's oh my gosh, it's Sandra, but no. So whatever. But some of the group on this call proposes just killing the aliens since they're part living beings, while Mark and David then pitch attacking the cyber side and having it eat itself there, which is a weird thing to. Whatever, but I'm not even gonna dwell on this anymore. It's fine if that's what you think is how it happens, Kenneth. Then whatever. But Will Cube messages trying to get access to the Secretary of Defense, who was still on the golf course last we saw him.
Yeah.
And he's told no, but then he was like, oh, I still have the Zoom info anyways, and so he hops on it, and we see Secretary of Defense is now not on the golf course. He is in the car in the parking lot of the golf course with He has made it slightly further that way.
He finished his golf engagement.
Progress.
That fucker finished all 18 holes. Wow.
The Zoom call is currently talking about bombing DC themselves so it would bury Goliath 40 foot underground where the aliens couldn't reach it, because clearly they're still concerned more about preserving their incredible surveillance system and like cutting edge rather than, you know, I don't know, saving Earth or whatever. So
not bombing DC.
They're not bombing DC.
Sure,
because
you know.
This would, again, bury it 40 foot underground, but it would also kill everyone within 5 miles, they mention.
Yeah.
Just as a,
you know,
something. So,
but yeah, what's going to save them is this throwback to Independence Day. They're going to try to upload a computer virus, which again, you want to talk about technological throwbacks, computer viruses.
Yeah.
Just the way that they're discussed, the presence that they have in the film, the nature, like the way they're deployed, what they do. This is again some 90s hacker fantasy, for sure. I really
this will fix it all. Like just as the silver bullet of it.
Yeah, I just part of this film I feel like was. It must have been like some script written in that time and dusted off. I don't know. It's just like there are so many 90s hacker cliches in this film. It's just amazing. It just so, and like again, I got a soft spot for 90s hacker films. So it's like I really felt this, and like I really feel like this was written by someone who also had a certain soft spot for these films, but didn't understand that a lot of these are some really bad cliches. they're real bad.
Oh, it's not great.
Oh man, they're humorous and endearing, but oh my god. Anyway,
so Team Will Sandra family discussed that Will take the cannibal code to the servers manually, so he gets to stand up from his chair for a second time.
Yes. This is again. I've tried real hard to note like moments that are okay. There's maybe some figurative elements. There's some writerly elements in here. This is where everyone is surveilling him and telling him what to do.
Yeah.
Finally, so like this is a real kind of tables are turned moment.
He doesn't like that at all.
No, not a bit. He complains the entire time. But it's a figurative element,
right?
And so I just noted. Sure.
It's very true. It's very true. Sandra says that Cody's carrying his data and that they'll attack him for it before he even gets in there. And he's like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And so Will Cube then returns to his email draft of Parenting is Hard, right to Faith and now Dave. And he schedules it to go out later for them in his passive-aggressive time bomb.
I love how much time he spends on this letter when it's just like, dude, you need to be running to like do something, right? If he's just like, no, I'm going to take what felt like a lot of time to add to this letter. Just, man, like people finishing their golf rounds, people writing their sappy self apologizing letters. Just, okay. People take their moments.
Right. Or they're like, it's not that important. It's probably fine. But, you know, what's not happening to me, the giant robots right now. So this one actually is sort of accurate. Will needs a thumb drive, and he doesn't have one because he's a secure institution. And like that is a thing. Yeah. People will like, they had to make all sorts of security practices or like essentially tell people, don't put thumb drives you find into your computers and stuff, because bad actors would literally go and like throw them over fences or like place them in things as they visited to get access to the network into these computers. So he's like, I don't have a thumb drive and there's none in the building. And this is where the people are mentioned and bitch about the Amazon stuff, because Mark, Amazon driver, is like, I have a USB drive, but I'm far away. And then he's like, but I have this product called Amazon Air where I can put on a VR helmet and then like fly a drone to you. And again, he fucking walked there. Like, I don't know what happened to his like van thing, but like, did he carry a like whole ass VR set and drone like to his pregnant wife's thing, being like, what if I need to drone somebody? Like, because this is not a small like thing or whatever, but
you never know. Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly.
So, whatever. But it's just another, this is an Amazon Prime Video thing, and so Amazon can...
It was safely tucked away in a plot hole.
Fuck this movie however it wants, I guess. But Will then tells Faith that she's in charge of navigating him down to Goliath. Yeah, because we talked about this, him being told what to do, but Faith had, a baby an hour ago, mind you. I don't know, she should be in charge of really, you shouldn't put a whole lot on her, but I noted also she looks great for this having happened. The stylist didn't, fuck her up for the rest of the movie, or she's, just crying and bloodied and mascara, yeah, whatever. No, she looks fine. She's good, but sure. Will Cube gets up for the second time this movie. Yay! He's moving and he's jogging downstairs as the aliens make their way towards the data center, his data center, mind you. Yeah. The bombers are 8 minutes out, we are told at this moment. So the tension is set. If we don't fix this in 8 minutes, we are exploded. So there's that. So Mr. Mark is literally flying an Amazon drone through the legs of the tripods. I don't know why, but
just to style a bit.
Yeah.
It does a flex.
Don't get cocky, kid. Might be a thing here, but sure. While Will teaches Dave, his son, how to commandeer a drone, he's like, you just gotta right click there and then you go here, and it's just I have parenting heart next to that one.
Yeah, some father-son bonding. Aw.
Dave gets to use his previously established video game jet skills.
Exactly. A little bit of tables are turned. This game that he spitefully deleted is, in fact, what's going to save the day.
Right, because he deleted his jet sim game. He was supposed to look like a Battlefield or something, but he's like, oh. Because immediately Dave's like, I'm shooting missiles at it. Like, oh, shit, Dave. Yeah, didn't take long to that, but yeah, he's like, I'm shooting down the alien ship, and so Mark ends up crashing the drone. Honestly, David does do a great job, of defending, but Mark fucks it up. The drone is by a homeless person though, so in another. I've just memed or it's shitty thing. This is one of the more discussed things I've seen online about this movie. But they essentially accost this homeless person. They find his phone number again through ethics. Sure, definitely ethical means. And they're asking him to flip the drone over. And they propose. They're like, "Do you want free internet from the government for a year?" And he's like, "Why? So they can watch me?" Which in most contexts, be like, oh, what a crazy person thing to say, but we've watched this movie, so it's like, well, but they eventually settled. They're like, will you flip it over for $1,000 Amazon gift card? Or they really don't even negotiate; they just jump to $1,000. But he does. He eventually is like, oh, okay, and flips it. But Amazon.
Yeah, this was another kind of. It felt a little ick. Just the idea of inducing a homeless person to perform various acts by way of a live stream camera.
Oh, yeah.
There's just, oh, man. If this was the only gross thing in the film, okay, but just this film is all about just gross shit like this, and just what's one more element. I had the feeling they were kind of presenting this homeless man as kind of feral, the way that he moves about is almost kind of like a scared animal. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, he's a crazy homeless person talking about the government and all this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what they were pitching him as.
And then,
but then, without a shred of irony, probably whenever it's this movie is the government surveilling you, whether or not you have their free internet. So
it's some unaware irony again, more of that. But then just some gross Amazon product placement, oh well, for an Amazon gift card, he would do it. Just God, the Amazon placement in this film.
That was a weird one. The bombers are now 5 minutes out. Dave is out of missiles, sad face. Mark gets his drone inside the building, and he and Will are trying to find each other. He's kind of fucking it up, and they're like, I need you to find me now. And then Ice Cube gets attacked by a tentacle of a data monster, and he says, these things are everywhere. Well, we only really see that one until the very end or whatever. He's like, they're everywhere, but they're not. We just see that one, but Mark is still in his Dorcast VR headset, Amazon Drone World, like feeling around and stuff. But like he eventually makes it to Will Cube, and Will Cube talks Faith through a felony, allowing him into the server room, and, like, working on some stuff. And then we finally see some more data tentacles attack him as he dramatically plugs in a USB drive.
First of all, we got to talk about this felony because this is some like goofy shit. Like, it's kind of clever, but at the same time, it's really not. They use some footage. They rewind the security footage to find someone punching in the code on the door, which is another way of saying that their security is dependent on a 4-digit punch-in code that's being recorded just on this camera
at all times.
Like 4 digits, that's it. Just a punch-in code. That's their airtight security apparatus. Okay.
With the camera looking perfectly in the angle to see the code.
Or just anyone there in the room could just be like looking, because it's just a big fat chunky keypad. It's just. Again, this is the worst writing in the world. It's just terrible. Just terrible.
This is how security they think it is when it's not.
Anyway.
But so he dramatically plugs in a USB drive because that's what we're reduced to in this movie of this recreation of this particular World's iteration. For some reason, there's a Cannibal Code uploading bar, even though it was like physically plugged in and he didn't like.
It was anticipating this moment. There was a countdown bar just for this.
I just wrote like, I don't even care anymore. It's just like, I can't stop to care about some of these things anymore. But it seems like it's working. Like it is killing these aliens as it like uploads. Yeah, I'm like the fucking.
Oh man!
And we see that with 3 seconds left, the bombers are both their bombing rod, which I don't know. They seem pretty committed at that point. Like,
that's some tight coordination there. Not a single bomb was dropped. Wow. Okay. Good. Most plausible thing in the film, really.
Right.
So
they didn't blow up.
Sure.
We see. I think this is Faith, like, driving it first. Like, it next jumps to another computer a bit because they just can't let that thing breathe for a moment. It's just like, we jump right to this. And then it's somebody opening up the Parenting is Hard email. And previously we saw him attach some photos to this, which I was like, oh, okay, probably, like, good photos or, like, things he cherishes. But when do you know what photos I'm talking about when he opens this fucking email up? Like,
oh, yeah.
They're, like, the shittiest webcam photos you can imagine.
Yeah.
Where, like, the 3 of Faith, his daughter, the person he initially addressed this to, they're all of his like creeper webcam shots. Not a one of them is like her looking in the camera. Not a one of them is like more than 12 pixels. It's like him just being like, oh, remember when? Like, the one of Mark is like him like from the like camera underneath his like fucking steering wheel and like the van and stuff. And like,
remember what a creepy spine voyeur I was?
Yeah. David's is from his webcam too, so it's like, what is this?
Weren't those great times? Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
Oh, they're so bad. And like the email's so shitty and weird too. And this is my favorite phrase part of it. He asked them to forgive his trespasses, which is a very linguistically accurate request for an apology for his overstepping ass. Like,
well, and it sounds almost biblical.
Oh, like absolutely, it does. Yeah, and I mean, like, we talk about the right-wing lean this movie might have. The next shot here is it goes to Tucker Carlson's fucking Twitter account.
This is where I was about to just shit myself. They honestly they just let their hair down at this point. Like they're not flirting with having a right-wing bias. They center Tucker Carlson as being one of the social media responders. Tucker Carlson. Wow, I guess this must have been written some time ago because he has fallen
out of grace. It was a 2020 thing.
He has fallen hard out of grace for sure. But it's even worse actually then to think that this was written when he was at his height, and they were just like, yeah, we're just going to casually center Tucker Carlson in this, followed up by Joe Rogan. Oh my God. Yeah. And while we're talking about this, let's talk about how this film centers Fox News as like the paper of record. It's just so gross. This film's got some real right-wing stink on it. It's got a right-wing stink. Like the way that it highlights Tesla and of course Amazon for sure, but like there's a lot of just gross corporate like right of center and then just some obvious right-wing bullshit kind of stuff, and again trying to imagine who this film is meant to be for. Is it?
Well, it has to be. I mean, even cheering out just authoritarianism, frankly, because you see people search warrants in seconds. The agents are already en route and stuff. It's very pro-military, pro-surveillance, pro any of this stuff. And I mean, when you do look at the news sources that pop up, it's an interesting bit there. But that one just jumps out so hard at you when it's like, okay, then.
Is these news montage moments of the rogue Homeland Security director Briggs being arrested, and I guess it's like a headline, or it's the I'm trying to forget who's narrating this at this point, but they describe it as he's being arrested for conspiracy to violate the First and Fourth Amendments, which this seems straight out of a Trump tweet.
Oh yeah,
like a Trump hot take on what is it, Truth Social, whatever the fuck it is that he does his all cap bullshit screeds on. Conspiracy to violate the First and Fourth Amendments. Yes, this is some bad writing, but this sounds exactly out of the fever swamp of right-wing media. Yeah. Like this way of talking, this dumb way of speaking about the Constitution and about judicial process and things of that nature. It kind of reveals itself a bit. It kind of demarcates the kind of space it exists in a bit with these gestures towards right-wing figures. I guess I didn't hear exactly what they had charged him with. There's another bit in there where like when he's scrolling, it shows that Sandra NASA is now the head of NASA. She's she's Sandra head NASA. Yeah, she's gonna have to get upgraded in the phone book, frankly. It's not very applicable for her. But it leaves us like in this moment sort of questioning whether like Will Cube is dead, because the last thing we saw was like the USB. He was in the grasp of the tentacles. But then like immediately as I had that question, it's like, oh, he's fine. He's being proposed a new job by the Secretary of Defense, a data collection, like, but not private data. And Will turns it down and is like, in another just awful bout of acting by Ice Cube. That it's just like, again, if it's notable, like in a movie, it's just him turning in the shit, like it's so bad. But he like repeats his line as Sun said earlier by being like, oh, I want to worry with some people's Amazon carts and like some bullshit. It's awful. But we see text and shots at the end from Faith saying, here's some photos of we took. And then what's so fucking weird is that it's photos of the family, like Will, Dave, Faith, Mark, but also Sandra. Sandra's there. Like they're wearing their shark shirts from earlier, but also Sandra has a NASA shark one. Which I guess it would have been nice to just see them introduced to each other. Yeah. It makes sense.
What are they? Like, there's been literally no context this whole fucking movie. It's like what they are.
One can imagine how it makes sense. It's all centered around Will Cube, the character, and so.
But there was like no foundation of romance or something late. And again, he ignored her every chance he got, and so it's just like
exactly. Like, what is the nature of their friendship?
Yeah, are they dating? Because it seems like that's the way so many movies end. Like, oh, the main character and the woman or something, but it wasn't earned. There was nothing earned about this last, like, we're all happy in a family. Like, here's all the family photos. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, did they know she was coming? Like, did they? I don't fucking know, man. Like, but we're done. This fucking movie is over and it's stupid and I hate it.
We're free. We are free. This film cannot hurt us anymore, except in our nightmares, which we will have forever. But
unless it drains them.
It drained our data, bro. It totally bankrupted us.
So
it bankrupted me sensibility-wise.
Let's talk for a minute about, like, I guess the iterations of this that have come before War of the Worlds to, like, talk a bit of context about this. Sure. I guess there's really not a lot, again, that ties it back to this, but the novel War of the Worlds was written in the late 1890s, like 1895 to 97, I believe. It was released in 98 by H.G. Wells, known of The Time Machine and other things. But it's about Martians with much better technology than us invading. The plot is similar to other works of invasion literature and has been interpreted as like commentary on like evolution, imperialism, Victorian era stuff, superstitions, prejudices. But they do manage to take over Earth in the thing. There's actually like 2 books, and it's especially notable as a work of art. Because, I mean, it ends up being a radio play that causes a panic in 1938.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about how the novel
famous Orson Welles radio play. Yeah.
So that was a Halloween episode, and this was like 1938. Yeah, it was a Halloween episode of a radio series called The Mercury Theater on Air.
Yeah.
It was broadcast live at like 8 p.m. Eastern on October 30th then over CBS. And so a lot of people tuned in. This was like primetime stuff. But depending on when you tuned in, you may not have heard the preface being like, this is a sci-fi program. Yeah. It's fake, because they presented this in like news format. Like, people were doing the news, but then it like broke in and they were like, oh my God, like the aliens have attacked or something.
It was a screen life drama back in the day when the radio was your screen. And so, it rather famous radio production, Orson Welles narrating it. One of the most dramatic voices of the era. And so no one really better for this kind of stunt. And yeah, like you mentioned, they prefaced it at the beginning, but they would go to the commercial breaks. They'd have musical interludes. They kept it up like this was just a normal radio play, and then they would have it would be interrupted by the alien invasion, right? And so the way they rolled it out was very clever, right? They rolled it out like it would be received if it were actually happening.
It was a very realistic breaking news format. The first like half of the program it was delivered in.
Yeah. You know, just an infamous radio production. It led to some panic, and
because they had fictional reporters like describing a devastating alien invasion in the fall of New York City. And so like, I don't know if it was as widespread as like, you know, a legend has made it out to be necessarily, but it did cause some confusion and fear among listeners, and like like what the fuck, like New York's gone, like because I mean this is pre-internet. This was 1938. It's not like you just go look that up, or like, again, this isn't like I DVR'd this, I'll go back and listen to the beginning of the episode. It's like you got what you got, and if you heard that and you're like, oh God, like, so
different times.
Popular legend holds that some of the radio audience may have been listening to the much more highly rated show called the Chase and Sanborn Hour on NBC instead of CBS, and they switched to War of the Worlds during an interlude, thereby missing the introduction. However, modern research suggests this is kind of rare or whatever. Again, who knows how widespread, but it did happen, and it was kind of just a notable thing because, again, just people didn't have corroboration or whatnot on it. But many people only know the 2000s of the 2005 War of the World movie adaptation, but there was a 1953 film that was done as well. That one was summarized as it's set in 1950s Southern California instead of Victorian England, like the original one. It centers on Dr. Clayton Forrester. He's played by Gene Barry, and he investigates a mysterious meteor crash and discovers an invasion underway by the Martians. And so that film portrays them with heat rays and flying saucer-like ships and very traditional.
This is what Mars Attacks is parodying.
Yes.
Yeah. And another funny film.
It's nothing. I mean, again, this is 1953. I haven't seen this movie. I'm recommending this, but it was there. This is one iteration, and then there wasn't one until 2005, which is the known one, which is Steven Spielberg directing. It's Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning. That movie has the same ending as the novel, and what that ending is that they eventually succumb to just the pathogens on Earth, the diseases.
Bacteria get them in the end.
Because they're winning in both cases, in the novel and in the movie, and it's just ultimately they're just like, I feel kind of shitty. Like, do you guys feel shitty? And then they just like die because of our things they don't have immunity to. And so in that context, what we just watched, 2025, we were giving them an earthly pathogen, but it was our computer virus and our data, essentially. Like,
yeah.
And so they were trying to modernize it. Again, I don't know exactly how.
Sure, you can imagine a connection to COVID being the pathogen, perhaps, or sure, or what. Okay, sure. Yeah.
But the 2020 or the 2005 World of Worlds film is rated about 6 to 7 across the board out of 10.
It's a good film, yeah. I liked it.
In comparison, the 2025 film is currently sitting at about a 0.3 to 2 out of 10.
Yeah, it's
not beloved at the moment, we'll say.
There's a certain consensus forming about the film. Which, oh man, trying to find some things to appreciate the film. It does present a modern take on hacker aesthetic, on digital aesthetic, and again, like what I was talking about, I guess I don't really oppose this kind of perspective. It's how a lot of people engage a large portion of their life, for better and for worse. And so there's something
execution.
There's something to be said about doing something with that. I mean, it's a large part of lived experience. But and maybe the biggest thing about this that I felt, it was that because it was so consistently from the other side of Will Cube's screen, that I felt constantly detached from the film. Just totally detached.
Because when you're talking, it's just staring at him, rather.
Yeah, it's just like, this is just like staring at a screen.
Exactly.
And just...
Because it's like we were in a Zoom call, when it's like just looking at the person so often. It's like, this is shitty.
Yeah, could not be more detached. And there's nothing that's going to fix that. When like that feeling sets in that you're on a detached Zoom call, like that's it. And that's what this film just kind of felt like a lot of times. Just by way of what they were trying to do with the perspective and all that. It kind of backfired.
And if you felt like you were on a Zoom call with like your friend or somebody you liked, it could have worked more. But he's like an asshole. Yeah. He just kind of sucks. Like,
this is the person you avoid at work.
You're like you're trapped in a room with this fucking idiot for this whole movie, and like it's just not a fun experience generally for that reason.
This is exactly. Will Cube is the kind of guy who traps you in elevators for awkward conversations. he traps you in conversation with his just right wing bullshit. He's that guy. He's that uncle that you avoid at holiday gatherings. God.
He's gonna hack your fridge and turn it off. You piss him off too.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna monitor your muffin. Terrible.
You stay out of my muffin and
stay out of my muffin. Leave my muffin alone.
All right, let's do cast and credits real quick.
Yes,
honestly,
yes.
I didn't. Again, I put in just as much effort as I did for this movie, which is not a great deal. So, Ice Cube, known for his rap career in the Friday movies, most of all. He has made more forays into acting later in his career, rather regularly. He legally changed his name to Ice Cube, in case you were wondering. If you were like, why don't you call him Jacob or whatever? I don't fucking know his name. Again, I did not look it up because he's Ice Cube. There's no fallback name, apparently. But
there's no plan B anymore.
Yeah, he's fallen a bit out of favor with his politics as of late in many circles or whatever. And I mean, he just like everything he used to like rap about and whatever about just like anti-establishment stuff is like he's just so pro-establishment now, culminating in this movie, frankly, of just being like, yeah, I'm good with that. Like a lot of right-wing politics shit. So whatever. Not my cup of tea, I will say.
But it might explain why he was cast to be just flat.
Oh, it certainly could. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going the Kevin Sorbo or the others route of like,
yeah.
I'm available to make your schlock.
Yeah.
But Eva Longoria, she is known for Desperate Housewives. That was probably her big peak, where she was really at like the height of cultural awareness and stuff. She's been in quite a few projects and never really, like I said, hit that high again. Or like, I mean, I looked at a lot of her projects. A lot of them were like 4s or belows or something, or like out of 10s, and it's like, hate that for you. But My favorite credit of hers is that she's also like, if you go to like her top 4 known on IMDb, one of them is like the live Dora the Explorer fucking movie, and so it's like I thought she did have more, I guess, bigger known stuff, but I guess not. But the dude that, or let's do Iman Benson. She played Faith in the film. She's known for, she doesn't have a lot of credits necessarily. She's known for Alexa and Kate, Uncle Buck, and Black AF.
She was an Uncle Buck.
No. Like there's like a newer Uncle Buck on
okay.
that. I think I saw like a black guy on the cover. It's definitely not the John Candy. Like,
okay, so it's a remake of Uncle Buck. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sure.
She was in that. And then Henry Hunter Hall was the one that played the whipping boy named David. Just getting berated throughout the film. He had like an acting credit when he was real young, like 1997, but then like he really started back up in like 2018 and like as an adult and sort of doing stuff now. And so he's known for Waist Deep, Harriet the Watcher. And the last one I have is Devin Bostic, the guy who played Mark.
Yes.
He is known for a few things, actually. He's known for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He did a bunch of that. He was in Oppenheimer. Okay. He was in the Fargo TV series. But the biggest one that I know him from is he was in Saw 6 as a decently, not like big character, but he was in that. And that's my favorite entry of the Saw franchise. And we will definitely cover that at some point.
Sure.
Mind you.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Have we labored enough over?
I'm going to give you fucking trivia about it. And then, frankly, I don't know if I have a gayest moment of this film. It was kind of I was just upset by the end of it. But
I was wondering, do you have a budget? Do you have info on that? Like
on like actually how much it costs?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Or I'll go through this and I guess let's see. You can look that up. But
let's see if I can find that.
Ice Cube joined the movie, like I said, in September 2020. It was an untitled film. It was definitely planned to have all the actors in their own confined space because it was a mid-pandemic film, by every sense of that. It was not until, as I mentioned, April 2024 that it was announced as an adaptation of War of the Worlds. So I do have a at least healthy dose of skepticism as to this being always intended to be this project.
Yeah.
Because I could easily see this just having been adapted. Because he could be reacting to just about anything on those screens and stuff. It's very easy to change that or reshoot that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The film's lead producer, this is a guy, Timur Bekmambetov, was previously involved in a number of films told through the webcam format, such as Unfriended, Bloat, Profile, and Missing, which was a 2023 one, through his film studio Basilev's company. But like I said, these guys have a type. Like, this is a thing that they have repeated. Because he was the lead producer. He was the guy that was kind of driving a lot of this.
Sure.
For reasons you could guess, Amazon enforced a review embargo up until the film's release date because they didn't really want the buzz dropping about this movie.
Yeah.
It also only received a trailer release date less than a week before its release. Like, when I say they kind of just like tried to push this out there without really being known, they did, but it's still somehow like within their top 10 because it's just like they don't put out a lot of movies, and this is getting bad buzz.
Yeah. It's being well watched, but for all the bad publicity. So, yeah.
This one is interesting to me. This is probably the one that kind of made me like rethink things about the film. The character of William Radford was originally written as a paraplegic to fit in with the themes of COVID and people being glued to their screens, the director says.
Sure.
But the director was impressed by like the intensity of Ice Cube's like chair throwing or something that he rewrote the character.
Wow. See, I felt like it was terribly directed, and now this is confirmed.
Now we have confirmation. Yeah, because I just I could understand it, and it would like almost give like gravity to some scenes where he's like, you have to fight through this, like to go down that area, especially if he's going downstairs and shit, or like there are just things you could do with it. I guess it might be there's easy ways to ham fist it or fuck it up too, mind you, or to be like like ableist or all sorts of things, but I think there's a world where this movie could have been good or better if that was the case, because like he did have legs, but he also did nothing with them in the movie. Like, it's not like that was a core part of anything, really. Like, he stood up twice. Yeah. That's about it. Like,
it could have added some depth to the film, sure. Yeah. But the director being impressed by Ice Cube's dramatic delivery. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not good.
One of the names on his team's display is Orson G. Welles, an homage to Orson Welles and H.G. Wells, which was cute, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of the news report footage of the aliens attacking areas on subsequent destruction is actual archival footage, as I mentioned, like the 2016 Fort McMurray wildfires, 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil rig disaster, the 2011 Japanese tsunami. People love that one. Put those in their disaster movies. But
Sure.
Yeah, so that's about it. We can think real hard for a gayest moment, straightest moment, I suppose. But
yeah, let's see. What would be the gayest moment?
He did ghost the person that he eventually ended up with a lot, I guess. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? He didn't want to. I don't know. It was I was focused on so many other things in this film, mind you. There really was not a shred of too much anything LGBT, which is fine, again, or even a loose comparison. I was just mad at the end of this movie. What have you stolen from me?
This film doesn't get a gay moment. It doesn't deserve one.
Yeah. It wishes.
Oh, all right. Well, I think that's it because my data is drained, and that my will to live is drained. Oh, wow.
I have to go pick up the Secretary of Defense from the golf course. Yeah. He's still sitting there in his back of the car. I think his driver left because he was smart and he fled from the robots, but he's still.
Oh, man. Oh, that's great.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, we do have some films on the list, on our short list, that are probably just tear down films. We'll do them every now and again. We respect most cinema, but not all cinema deserves to be respected equally. So, one day, Wonder Woman 1984. I'm coming for your ass.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Jeez, we're gonna need to bring sandwiches and
we can make a day of that one for sure.
And block off some time. Oh geez. Yeah. That's gonna be another epic installment in our takedown. Our takedown installments. Oh my god. All right.
Well, one day, as mentioned, we'll get a schedule. We'll have some upcoming episodes available us to write in. Yes. Probably. I've said that a lot.
Suggestions, please. Send them in. Yeah. We love the classics. We love the random films. Give us some suggestions. Who knows?
And we've mentioned several on air. Maybe we will have to visit the Spermageddon from the director of What Happened to Monday. Who knows what we will find.
Right.
The animated tale of Simon the Seaman.
That's right. I am actually really curious because What Happened to Monday was such an excellent film. So is this maybe the most excellent animated film about semen that's ever been created?
Maybe. I watched Prometheus a week after that, and she does star in that. Like I mentioned, she was a big character in that movie, but I hadn't seen it. I still have a couple Alien movies. I want to finish them all. I need to do Covenant and Romulus to watch Alien Earth because I know that.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Indeed.
Well, very good. Well, my name is Tommy.
And I'm Kyle. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
Till next time.